I think attention spans are completely fine. First, we're going to talk about ADHD. Here's a screenshot of Google that was used using assistance with AI. That means it's totally trustworthy. But look at this. Over 100 million people. Do you know how many fucking people that is? If all of them were together, that's like 1/3 of America having ADHD. That's so fucking many. That's like 5 alligators knowing how to five alligators knowing how to hotwire a car. Does that have any relation? No, it's funny to say it though. ADHD is a very prominent thing, but what does this have to do with attention spans? Well, it has a lot to do with attention spans, because mainly whenever people complain about attention spans, they're talking about kids. Kids are the most susceptible to having ADHD because of the hyperactive part. And I can say that because I'm a person that has ADHD. I actually took medicine for it. I was diagnosed with it. So I actually know I have ADHD. I don't know how much I have it now, or if it's calmed down, maybe it's more ADD, but it doesn't matter. The fact is that I had it, so I know what that's like. It's basically like a normal kid, but the only difference is that it's just a bit harder, and by a bit, it could be more severe. It doesn't matter. The whole idea of it is, these kids, they can't focus on anything. Normal kids can't even focus on anything. Kids don't focus on things that they don't want. It's not an ADHD thing, it's just a kid thing. That's just what kids do. They don't focus on shit that they don't like. So it's less of an attention problem, it's more of a child problem. Also, adults can have bad attention spans. Well, then that's more of you just don't have good responsibility. It's not an attention problem. Our attention span has always been like this. We've always wanted to multitask. What do you think multitasking existing? What's the point of multitasking? It's to get shit done quicker. Like, whenever we work, we love multitasking because it gets more things done that we don't want to do. The only difference is that we just put it into things that we want to do. You kind of see that? And I think that's a very important thing to mention, is multitasking. People do that a lot, especially at work. Like or at our house, we multitask chores. We go ahead, we do the laundry, we clean the house, and whenever the laundry's done, we go fold the laundry, and whenever we're done, we go finish the bathroom. We do all these things because we want to get things done quickly and efficiently. Mainly just in life, but mainly with stuff that we don't like. We just want to zip through it. But now, the only difference is that we're kind of multitasking with things that we like as well. And to some people, that can be seen as a problem. But the thing is, we've always done that. Always. I mean, people back then, whenever they didn't have phones, they would read the newspaper while cooking. That's multitasking. Technically, those are two things that most people like doing. What, is that bad? Does that mean people in the fucking 1980s had horrible attention spans? No! It just means they were multitasking. Now, to come in here and mention probably one of my favorite content creators, what comes down to it is that it's people just wanting to put the blame on something. Because people love doing that. People, especially people that are older. And that's the problem when it comes to this. People that are older are the one complaining about attention spans. Now, there are some people, like me, I'm not old, definitely, but there are people that are young that are worried about attention spans. But it all comes down to, they're not saying that, oh, I don't have a bad attention span, I'm fine. But the younger generation, no, they have horrible attention spans. That's what it comes down to. It always comes down to a generation saying something bad about another one. It's not an attention span problem, it's a generation problem. People are just saying bad things about the past or the future generation. We always have been doing that for time and time again. Whether it be new or old, we always have a problem with one of them. And that's another one of the things. And that, what I'm basically lining up is the fact that whenever we go ahead and complain about attention spans, what we're really complaining about is just having a problem to make our generation seem more superior, even though I'm one of the generations that is considered to have the attention problem. Okay, so then what does this mean? Well, what's the solution? I don't know. There isn't a solution, because the whole idea is that I'm basically trying to come in here and say that attention is not a problem. It's just the fact that shit isn't interesting. Really? Like that's how it is. Like whenever you go to school, oh, you don't want to focus on doing your work? Yeah, no, who the fuck wants to focus on doing work? No one does. If you were like whenever they were in school, they didn't want to focus on work. Did they have ADHD? Did they have attention problem? No. It's called it was boring. But whenever I do it, I'm out of my mind. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Not how that works. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. So what's the solution to it? I already said that. I'm just repeating myself. Now here, I'm gonna go ahead and put a video up that has something to do with VSauce. So you enjoy that. That's the wrong side. I need to come over here.
Sludge content on TikTok. You know what that is?
I don't know sludge content.
Have you seen these videos where it's like a split screen and one part of it is like a Family Guy clip and the other part is just like someone cutting up slime? We get panicky about like, oh, attention spans and what's wrong with us and all of this. Before the internet, people would like talk to each other, but like watch the birds at the same time.
Wait, people had short attention spans in the past?
These internet fears are what I call phonio, fake new. It's not really a new problem. It's just human behavior doing what it's always done for tens of thousands of years, but with like a new costume on.
Okay, so what am I even talking about? What is the point? What does all of this mean? Well, attention spans have much more to do with just shorts. Because that's what a lot of people are complaining about. They're complaining about content being too quick. People can't watch through a whole movie. Whenever they go in shorts, they just keep on flicking. They just cannot stop going. And when it comes down to it, that is a problem. That is something that should be fixed. But it's not really ruining our attention spans. And that's what I'm trying to advocate for. Do I think shorts are gross and stupid and horrible? Yeah, I think shorts is absolutely useless. Shorts are super boring. It's mind-numbing. I'm not denying that. But what I am going to be denying is the fact that we have a horrible attention spans. Because when it comes down to it, humanity has a horrible attention spans. We always want to do multiple things because we're efficient creatures. We are meant to do things. We are wanting to work 24/7. If we don't work, we're gonna die. That's just kind of how we're hardwired. So whenever we work at 100% a lot of the time. Of course, there's some exceptions to people that are lazy, but it doesn't matter. We do that with everything. Whenever we work, we want to work a lot or try to get through things that we don't like. We have always 1,000 different motives, and that's the important thing. We always have holy shit! Alterative? Oh fuck, I forgot the other word. The main thing is that we always have multiple motives for something. It's never just one problem. Because when it comes down to it, we can complain about attention spans. Why? Well, who's mainly complaining about attention spans? Well, that's mainly people that are not Gen Z or Gen Alpha. People complain about Gen Alpha and Gen Z a lot. But now, there's a small minute of the Gen Z complaining about the Gen Alpha. That's what it comes down to. It's always an older generation making fun of the younger one. Or maybe not making fun, but having genuine concern for it. There's a term for this. It's called Juvenoia. It's the whole idea that people are afraid of the younger generation for making mistakes. And the older generation want to basically keep the same thing that they lived with and not progress because they're afraid, because they know that they were able to make through it, obviously. They were fine. So they want us to stay on the same path, but that's not how humans are. We want change. We want to be more efficient. We want to be better. Or just work with what we got. And of course, things change and progress. But that's not going to work with them. Juvenoia is a very interesting thing. I learned it from VSauce, and I really love the term. If you can't tell, I'm referencing a lot of VSauce because he's talked about like this topic here and there. I think about 2 times it really kind of hits, but it doesn't really matter. So that's one of the problems. It's a generational problem, and the other one, well, it's just a multitasking problem. Us humans, we want to constantly multitask. We want to do things that we hate super quickly. We want to get it done. We want to do what we like. And with shorts, we like shorts. Kinda, I mean, it's mind-numbing, but we get sucked into it because it's like an addiction. So when it comes down to it, we want more of it. just like working. People can be workaholics. They can just keep on wanting to do more and more. And then it starts to get into multitasking. And then that's just where it starts to build. Bad things can get done quick with multitasking. But if you multitask with good things, really, you're just experiencing 2 times the good things. And that's kind of how we do it. It's like a mouse in a mouse wheel. We like that. We like being in a mouse wheel. It's simple. It's like reading a book and going on a run. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with doing that. That's like going ahead and listening to music and going for a run. People do that all the time, but you don't call them, you can't pay attention to nature when you're outside, when you're running? God, you just have to listen to music. No one says that. No one says that at all. But yet you can stay in your house, you can listen to music. No one's going to say anything. You can go on a walk and be fine. But no one, whenever you put the two together, will they complain. It's just shorts. I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure I had more points, but I honestly kind of forgot about them. But you're kind of starting to understand what I'm talking about. I almost repeated myself. So, I think here there are 3 main things. A generational problem, a multitasking problem, and then an enjoyability problem. I've kind of briefly mentioned the enjoyability thing, but I'm just going to go ahead and break it down one more time. The enjoyability problem is that people, whenever you don't enjoy something, you don't want to do it. It's simple, all right? Well, when it comes to school, you don't want to do things that you don't like. So you're not going to do it, right? That's how it is. You're not going to want to focus on something that's boring, yet whenever you go ahead and watch a math lesson, guess what? You're going to hate it. You're going to sit there, you're going to want to cry and do all this other stuff. But you're playing one of your favorite games. Oh yeah, you'll be stuck there for hours. And that's the thing. That's what people were confusing with ADHD a long time ago, is that people just assume ADHD people were lazy. But now, guess what? It's a mental disorder. That's the bread and butter right there, is that it's not that the attention is the problem. It's a lot of outside factors. We don't want to focus on shit that we don't like. The only difference is that it's just growing to a wider scale to where we're, instead of ADHD people being the only people that kind of not really have a pass, but are just so kind of aggressive towards the fact that they don't like things that they can't pay attention to, that clearly they're going to disregard it, run away, and be hyper somewhere else. People that don't have ADHD or aren't diagnosed are going to act the exact same way, because humans are like that. If you're going to be put in front of something that bores you, like watching paint dry, tell me, do you have an attention problem if you staring at paint and you can't stare at it? What? Oh, well, you can't look at paint dry for 30 minutes? You have a bad attention problem. No human on earth would ever say that. You're stupid and a psychopath if you think that. Because I would dare any person that goes ahead and says that this generation has I would dare any person that goes ahead and says this generation has an attention problem to go ahead and stare at paint dry for 30 minutes. See how long they're going to want to stay and do that. They probably could do it. I mean, honestly, anyone could technically do it. But we're not going to want to. You're not going to come out and think, oh, that was such a relieving experience. No, you're going to hate yourself. You're going to hate the fact that this happened. You're going to want to break down that wall. And that's what it comes down to. Doing stuff that we don't like is like watching paint dry. For some people, it's more severe. It's so hard to do it. But for others, it's a bit easier to be like, it's going to be pain, it's going to be boring, but whatever, I can get through it. And that's the thing. Maybe in this day and age, there's a lot more people like that, but there are much more people that are willing to express the fact that this is boring and take action against it and then just walk away. With people back then, that was less likely, because if you did do that, you'd probably get beaten. So yeah, genuinely, I don't think there is any way to fix this. It just comes down to people need to shut their mouth and stop complaining, because it's so many more problems than attention spans. There are so many things that are linking to it that people don't mention because it makes them look bad. And that's the whole thing. Do young people, can they not focus? Yes, I can't focus on shit I don't want to do. But guess what? That's not how that world works. we have to do things that we don't want to do, and that's just a problem on our part. We need to learn how to do that. Do all the generations need to shut their fucking mouth and realize that they're the exact same way as us, if not even worse if they had the things like us? Yes, because if anything, if they were to get the things that we had nowadays, like in the middle of their life, they'd probably have it way worse compared to us. Because with us, we were born into the world with all these items. Some of them didn't even grow up with the items. They got it way late into the other stages. But then people back then, they grew up with the technology. So when it comes down to it, who has that type of thing worse? If someone was shoved in with the technology right at their birth, they would understand and deal with it a lot more. Be able to be more socially adjusted with it. At least if their parents did them right and raised them. But back then, that would probably be way less likely. No one would teach them how to properly use all this shit. So then it probably would have rotted them way more than it rot us. Mainly, I'm just wanting to fight for my people. For as much as I don't like my people because they fucking suck, but I'm going to do it because most of the time the strays hit me, and I'm going to be complaining. Because I would say that I can articulate my points and prove them as much as possible. Because when it comes down to it, everyone has problems. Everyone. And whenever you have a bit of a problem, people want to blow it out of proportion in order to make themselves look better. Maybe look like, this is a problem that we need to solve because this is going to destroy our generation. Because that's the thing. They want to be the hero. They want to come in and say what they think is the obvious that no one's mentioning and then fix the world. But the thing is that they're the same way. They have problems that they want fixed. But let's do this. Who is like boomers? Boomers are racist. Yep, they're just full-blown racist. They love saying slurs. Not all of them are like that, but I'm gonna generalize. I'm gonna say that all of them are racist. Is that correct? No, that is a lie. That's like saying all people from my generation have horrible attention spans. Is that true? No, absolutely not. There are some people that are completely fine, and that's the thing. It's a generalization. You see where the problem is comes? You see the problem? Whenever you generalize a generation, you make problems. Because you're not paying attention to the actual problem here. You're just saying things to make it seem like there's a problem, so you can fix a non-existent problem. The only difference is with this, is that the problem is more pronounced because we have more things. Because think about it, back then, y'all didn't have phones. Like, of course I'm thinking of like 1950s, 1940s. Y'all didn't have cell phones, obviously. I saying y'all like it's that like y'all are still like alive, but it doesn't matter. But you see, that is an important detail. They don't have that. So how would we have known how would they have known they would have been as bad as us? Because if they did have it, they would be that bad. But no, we're the one that has it, so we're the one that has to get shat on for it. Because when it comes down to it, they had the same thing. They had the same stuff where, you're so lazy, you can't walk to your local diner to get the news. Now you gotta get these rolled up bundles of newspaper delivered to your door. You're so lazy, you can't even spend 10, 20, an hour of your day walking down the street. That's probably something someone has said back then. But now we get it on our phones and people complain about that. It's like, you can't walk up and go talk to your friends. Like, no, because they're across the fucking earth. Needless to say, I'm very passionate about this topic because I can't admit I am a victim of saying that attention spans are getting worse. And I do kind of believe it. I shouldn't say it like that. I should say that because attention spans are kind of a problem. It's more about discipline. Discipline is the main thing about it. Because attention spans can be getting worse, but it's a discipline problem. It's a generational problem. It's a multitasking problem. It's an enjoyment problem. There's so many problems linked up to it, and no one wants to fix it. You know what we want to do instead of fix it? Complain. And as you've noticed, I'm not complaining. No. I'm not the one complaining about these problems. I'm the one complaining that people are complaining about things that they're not fixing. Because that's what everyone wants to do. They want to complain that there's a problem instead of fixing the problem. How do we fix the problem? You don't. To fix that is to fix humanity. And to fix humanity, you have to fucking destroy it and then start from the beginning. But guess what? Other people have thought of that same idea and they didn't really get taken very well. So we're kind of stuck this way. Anyways, I think this video has been too long and too passionate, and I think it needs to stop now. So yeah, next time, guys, stop saying that attention spans are bad. They're completely fine. Also, I have to mention that I made this thumbnail way too serious. Why do I look like that? I actually ate a melatonin gummy, so right before I fell asleep, I took this photo for the thumbnail. I look way too serious in it. It's honestly kind of funny. And also the text, it's not the shorts, it's you. Which, I mean, I was right. You're the problem, but it's a funny image. So I'm gonna keep it that way. But yeah, hopefully you guys think about this more, because of course I'm not here to change people's opinions. I'm just here to make you think in a different way, because it's not the attention spans. It's just there's so many. I'm not gonna do it. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I fucking. Oh no! I exploded my adapter to my microphone. That's horrible. I don't actually know why, but there's two